Josh, you ready? All right, you're listening to WBH Radio. I am your host, William Holley. This is the very first podcast for the new year. You know, Happy New Year to everybody. It's been a long time since I've been able to do one of these, but I'm here, right? I've been a little bit busy coaching basketball at Brooklyn College. I started back in October, but I'm here to report that's no longer the case. A lot of people have reached out asking me, yo, Will, what happened, son? Why are you not on that staff anymore? I said, listen, I'm going to tell a story once and one time only. So I'm going to do this podcast, put that out there, and people can draw their own conclusions. So where do I begin? Let's go back to Thursday. What date is that? Thursday, February 7th. Right, Thursday, February 7th is a regular day at Brooklyn College, getting ready for our afternoon practice. Right, we are scheduled to play the Beavers of City College that Friday up in Harlem at their campus in Harlem. So it's Thursday. I'm in the building. I hear a little bit rumblings that, hey, that game that you have scheduled for the 8th, it's in jeopardy. City College's floor has water damage. The kids can't play on it. All right, fair enough. Go about my business. We're in the middle of practice. Official word comes out that we won't be playing that game on Friday at City College. We're actually going to be playing that Saturday. So the game has been scheduled a whole 24 hours later than anticipated. Now, for most of us, when our train is 5 minutes late, our day is turned upside down. So you could imagine the inconvenience of thinking you're playing on a Friday, but now you're going to be playing 24 hours later. And not only will we not be playing in Harlem, but the location has been moved to your college. All right, cool. I'm not even stressing it, right? We roll with the punches. But then our head coach lets the athletes on our team know that the game has been moved to Saturday. And I could just see the despair on their face. They like, damn, son, that's such an inconvenience. I had this plan, that plan. So I go home that Thursday. I sleep on it. And I wake up that Friday morning and I think to myself, wow, the leadership involved with that decision really dropped the ball. Right? You can't just at the last minute on a whim say, oh, yeah, guys, that Friday game, it's going to be on Saturday. That is such an inconvenience. See, these kids are Division III athletes. We're not Zion at Duke University where we're just in the dorm room waiting for the NBA to come calling. Nah, these kids are going through real life. But before I get that, from a basketball perspective, let me tell you what that did to us. Right, the NCAA limits how many hours you can practice during the week. So here we are, set our practice schedule. We anticipated playing on a Friday. But since it got moved to Saturday, we had exhausted all of our practice time. So now we have to go into that Saturday game without being able to practice that Friday. That never happens in college basketball, having to go into a game without practicing the day before. So that puts us at a disadvantage from a basketball perspective. But forget basketball, man. Let's get back to real life. I mentioned these kids are Division III athletes. They're not on scholarship, right? A lot of them are going through real life. Right? A lot of them commute to school. A lot of them live at home with their families. Different things are going on. In fact, there's a kid on that team who last year, he lost his sibling. His sibling passed away. So he lost a brother. His parents lost a child. His family lives 2 hours north of the city. With traffic, it takes them 3 hours. They come to every game to watch that kid play. 2 and 3 times a week, they traveling 2 hours both ways. Right? They just lost a child. That's special moments for them. That's therapy for their family. So they adjust their work schedule. Okay, he plays on Friday. All right, we'll be there Friday. Maybe I'll pick up some hours on Saturday. You can't just do that to them on the last minute, change the schedule on a whim. You can't just do that. There's another kid on that team who over the Christmas break, he had to fly to Israel to bury his uncle. On his free time, he goes to Long Island to check on his mother who's dealing with the fact that her brother just passed. You can't just rearrange these kids' schedule on a whim at the last minute. And a lot of these kids work full-time jobs. What kind of job could they get as a full-time student, full-time athlete? Probably retail, right? So they go to their manager. Hey, manager, I'm playing college basketball. I got a game this day, that day. The managers rarely want to hear that, but they concede. They make adjustments for the kids. So now the kid that had to fight to even maintain that job, the kid who had to fight to even get a schedule that works with his basketball, his athletics, he now has to go to his manager and say, yo, remember I told you I could work on Saturday? Nah, I can't do it anymore. So you jeopardizing these kids' ability to pay their rent, to eat that week. That's no laughing matter. That's not a small decision. And I needed the higher ups to understand the effect it had on the little people. So what did I do? I wrote an email. I wrote an email that Friday morning. I wrote an email to the commissioner of the conference. I wrote an email to the athletic director of CCNY. Now, there was no disrespect in that email, no name calling, no ad hominem attacks. No, I expressed just what I expressed to y'all. Hey, we Division III athletes, man. There needs to be a little bit more prudence exercise when you make these decisions. We got families, we got kids that we rely on this schedule. We rely on people to do the best they can to make sure we stay on point. Okay, granted, your court was messed up, but we could have played that game at Brooklyn College. So I composed that email. The commissioner of the conference, somebody I've known for 10 years, he hit me back right away. Yo, Will, I understand, but it's not my call. Like, he washed his hands out the gate. Yo, Will, I got you, brother. Makes sense, but it's not on me. It's on the home school. It's on CCNY. So that's Friday morning, right? I'm going on about my day. I see that my head coach is calling me in the middle of the day. He calls me twice, actually. Now, there's no good reason for him to be calling me. So finally, we get on the phone. He's like, yo, Will, did you send an email to anybody? I'm like, I sure did. I tell him what was said, and he's like, dang, man, the Brooklyn College athletic director is pissed off. So although I didn't email the Brooklyn College athletic director, news got back to him. CCNY probably alerted him to the fact. And my head coach said, yo, Will, that's a bad look for the Brooklyn College AD. It seems as if he has a rogue assistant coach that just stepped out of ranks and addressed the commissioner of the conference and a sister school athletic director. That's not a good look for him, Will. I said, well, you know, head coach, I understand. I did it. Whatever's going to be, will be. He says, all right, Will. He hangs up. I guess he calls the Brooklyn College athletic director back. You know, they have their conversation. So now my head coach is calling me again. He says, yo, Will, this is what it's going to be, man. You're going to compose an email apologizing, saying your emotions got the best of you. You know, he's going on. And then when he finally stops, I said, yeah, man, I ain't going to be able to do that. I ain't going to be able to do that. I'm not sorry for what I did, you know. I was not unprofessional. I said something unpopular, but I was not unprofessional, right? I wrote that email, and I'm standing on it. Yo, he was silent on the phone. Like, he was shocked. Like, yo, what you mean? Yo, coach, that's what I believe in. I'm an honorable man. I'm standing on it. He's like, all right, well. So he hangs up. I guess he calls the Brooklyn College athletic director again. So then he calls me back. He's like, yo, Will, you want to talk to the Brooklyn College AD? I'm like, yo, dog, I ain't really got much to say. I said all I had to say in the email, but if he wants to call me, he's welcome to. So the Brooklyn College AD finally calls me. Again, this is still Friday midday. The Brooklyn College AD calls me. And the first thing out of his mouth says, son, I don't know where you got the balls to make that email, to compose that email. Now, this guy don't know me from Adam, son. Like, I've been coaching in his building for 6 months. That's all he knows about me. He don't know what size my balls are, if one is bigger than the other, one hangs lower than the other. Like, he don't know anything about me, right? So that was completely unprofessional, but cool. I ain't stressing. All right, Mr. AD, you got it. You know, he goes on to say, Will, you're not wrong in what you said. He said, I'll never admit that. I'll never write that down, but you're not wrong in what you said. He said, but it shouldn't have came from you. It should have came from myself, the athletic director. You let us handle those issues. I said, you know what, Mr. Brooklyn College AD? That's fair. You're right. He says, so what I want you to do, I want you to write this email. You don't have to retract anything you said. Just say that, hey, it wasn't my place to address the commission of the conference or the sister school AD. He said, you're going to say your emotions got the best of you? I said, hold on. I was with you, but this emotions got the best of me. Like, I don't like that wording. It insinuates that I'm apologizing about something or I'm retracting something. He says, you know what, Will? That's fair. So I want you to compose an email draft and we'll work it out. So, all right, cool. That's fair. So I write an email, the bare minimum, exactly what he said. Yo, the Brooklyn College AD told me I shouldn't have been the one to say it. And I forwarded it to him. He makes, forget adjustments. He writes a completely whole new email, son, and sends it back to me. He got me sounding like a Walmart greeter. Like, hey, guys, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I hope to see you guys this weekend and hope to see you in the playoffs. Something like that. I'm like, yo, anybody who knows me, this isn't me, right? I responded to the email to the AD. I said, listen, sir, I don't want to be a nuisance, but I cannot send that. That ain't me. He had me wishing CCNY good luck. Man, anybody know I don't wish luck. Either you prepared or you ain't. So I'm like, yo, Mr. AD, I don't want to be a nuisance, man. I'm not sending that, right? I'm not up for appearances or let's make it seem like he was punished or let's make it seem like he's apologetic. No. I don't live in that world. He's like, Will, this is through email. He's like, Will, okay, I hear you. He said, come see me Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. I said, cool, that's fair. Right, so it's Friday afternoon. The last word I got from Brooklyn College is we're going to have a meeting Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. I go about my Friday, regularly scheduled programming. And now Friday evening, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, I get a response email from the AD of CCNY. She goes on to say things like, well, I've been in athletic administration for 15 plus years. This is just what needed to be done. I didn't make the decision on a whim. I said, okay. You know, she wanted to flex her little muscle that she's been around for 15 years and this is all she could do. I responded to her email and I said something along the lines of, ma'am, I got a kick out of your response email. It lets me know that my words really resonated with you. You know, the fact that you volunteered, you've been in athletic administration for 15 years, I wonder if you're trying to prove something to me or yourself by mentioning that. And I went on to say, listen, ma'am, because she was appointed AD in March 2018. I said, ma'am, the person you replaced was a sexual predator hiding in plain sight. He was somebody that was convicted of being a sexual predator back in Philadelphia. He did 10 years in prison, came up here, hit it, got a new name, and was hiding in plain sight. I said, ma'am, that's the person you replaced. That school has made errors in their hiring practices before, right? He is a prime example of that. Just because you occupy that chair doesn't mean you are befitting of it. Yo, Josh, I never heard from her again, right? Like, I never heard from her again. Done, man. Just because you in that chair don't mean you good, all right? Done. Again, nothing disrespectful, all facts, just something unpopular. So I sent that email. I'm like, oh, let's see what becomes of this. Still Friday night, my head coach calls me after all of that. He wants a recap. Yo, Will, what happened with the Brooklyn College AD? Will, what happened with the emails? I said, well, the last I heard from the AD, we got a meeting Monday. And the CCNY athletic director just emailed me. I told him what I said in my response. He said, oh, boy, all right, Will, cool. So I guess he reconnects with the Brooklyn College AD. And then he calls me back. He said, you know what, Will, I just got word. You are suspended for Saturday's game versus CCNY at your college. So you know what? That's fair. That's fair. So Saturday comes around. I'm suspended for the game. But listen, my boys are not about to take the court without me watching them. So I get set to go to York College. I go in there. I got my homies with me. I got one friend on my left. Another friend meets me. We go in there, no problems, no issues. We go in there after the game starts. We sit in the highest row, minding our business. As I'm sitting up there, a security guard comes up there, a security guard that I'm familiar with. He said, Will, what did you do? Now, I think he's asking that question because he knows I should be on the bench coaching. I said, oh, nothing, man. It'll blow over. He said, no, seriously, Will, we got word that you can't be in this gymnasium. He said, Saturday morning, when the security went to work, they were passed out flyers with my face on it that said, do not let this man in the building. I said, Mr. Security Guard, you joking, right? He's like, nah, Will, it was passed down. You're banned from this building. You cannot sit here. And he proceeded to escort me out of that building. Now, I was heated, but more so, you could imagine the humiliation being escorted out of a gymnasium in front of your friends, in front of the players that you coach, being escorted out. You could imagine the humiliation, and I was hurt because it came from the school that I work for. It came from Brooklyn College. It was passed down by them, right? What in my history says that I'm a threat? What in my history says that I should be escorted out of a building by law enforcement? Hurt, humiliated. But as I talked to my producer, Josh, do you know why it really bothered me that I was escorted out that building? Go ahead, ask me. What? Josh, I played for your college. I was a student athlete at your college for 2 years, blood, sweat, and tears on that very court, and you gonna put me out of that building? You gonna walk me out of the doors that people used to walk through to see me? You could imagine the frustration and humiliation, son, like how hurtful that was. I couldn't believe it. And forget that basketball stuff. I graduated from that school with a degree in accounting. How many accountants are threatening? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna pull me out? Yo, I was hot. I said, yo, I was hot. So I waited for the game to end. You know, my head coach called me that evening like, yo, Will, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, were you at the game? I was like, I sure was. He was like, dang, man, you shouldn't have been there. You were suspended. I'm like, coach, suspended? We had a player suspended that game. He sat on the bench in a Brooklyn College uniform. We've suspended players throughout the season. I still see them sit in the front row and cheer their team on. Why would I believe that I can't walk in that gymnasium? Why does Brooklyn College think it's okay to keep me out of that gym to pass out a flyer as if I'm a criminal? A flyer that the players on my team eventually would saw. Who says, like, what basis do you have to do that? So I told my coach, you know that meeting that we got scheduled for 4 p.m. on Monday? I'm not going. I don't know what type of ambush I'm walking into. Y'all not going to walk me in the building so I can turn around and walk out in handcuffs. Y'all not doing that to me. And that Sunday morning, I proceeded to write an email to the Brooklyn College AD, letting him know just that. You embarrassed me in a gym that I called home. You embarrassed me on a campus that I graduated from with a degree with honors. Okay? And I said in that email, yo, do not call me, because I want all of our communication to be in writing, because I don't know what y'all do. I don't know who's doing what anymore. Y'all not going to say I said something. No. Make sure everything is in writing. We communicate through email. I sent that Sunday morning. Guess what happened Sunday night? He called me twice at 9 p.m. I didn't answer. I don't know who. Y'all trying to put the law on me. Yo, listen. We fight all our life to stay out of the way of law. That was a story of my childhood. I didn't go to the Army, go to college 10 different times to have the law on my back behind some college basketball and an email. No way. So he called me twice that Sunday evening. I didn't answer. No. You want to talk to me, put it in writing. You want to talk to me, make sure we're in a room full of people so they can verify what's being said. So Monday comes. What date is that? Monday. Oh, snap. Monday, I think it's the 10th. Let me double check. That's Monday the 11th. No communication from Brooklyn College. You know, I wasn't reaching out. I told them I was not reaching out. And in fact, in that email, I go back. I told them in that email, listen. Tell me if I'm to resume my duties as an assistant coach at Brooklyn College, or give me my termination papers. Let me proceed with my life, man. You got me in limbo. You telling me I got to send emails. You telling me I got to do meetings. Like, you get me escorted out of gyms. Like, it's too much. I'm taking control of my life back. No. Tell me what it is. Am I coaching or am I terminated? So Monday comes. It's actually senior night. The Brooklyn College Bulldogs taking on John Jay. Shout out to my one lone senior on the men's basketball team. Did a great job, son. It was beautiful to see you and your family out there enjoying yourselves. That's what we've been working for all year. So Monday comes and goes. I'm not at the game. All right. Tuesday, here comes Tuesday. My head coach calls me. Yo, Will, what's up, man? How you doing? What's the update? I'm like, yo, dog, you tell me. You in the building? He's like, all right, I'll get word. I'll figure it out. So that night, I text him, like, yo, what's the word? He says, this is text. He says, Will, I think the Brooklyn College AD is moving in the direction of termination. I said, that's cool. Keep in mind, I sent him an email asking what's the deal. He never communicated it to me. So I pick up the phone and call him because I got to hear from the horse's mouth. I pick up the phone and call him. He tells me, yo, Will, I'm not comfortable talking to you on the phone. Huh? But didn't you just call me twice on Sunday after I told you? Whatever, man. Cowardly stuff, whatever. Yo, what's the deal, man? Am I terminated or not? You'll get a letter in the mail. Letter in the mail? All right, cool. The Brooklyn College Bulldogs are set to take on Mega Evers at Mega Evers that Wednesday. Yo, am I banned from that gymnasium? No, Will, you're not banned from Mega Evers. All right, cool. When the Brooklyn College Bulldogs come back to their home gym, the West Quad, am I banned from that gym? Will, you get a letter in the mail. Cowardly stuff, man. Cowardly stuff. And that was it. That was it. That's how they treated me, son. From what's today? Today is February the 17th. I still ain't got a letter. I still don't know if I'm terminated. What's going on? But I just put that out there so everybody know the truth. That's it. That's the gist of the story, man. I said something very unpopular. And people's panties got in a bunch, right? I bruised a few egos. And I got the axe, I think. Right? Again, they still never communicated officially in writing or an email, right? Completely unprofessional. But it is what it is. Now, damn, is that the whole of the story? I think that's it. Yeah, that was my last. I think that's it. Right, so there are people out there, friends, loved ones, who would say, yo, Will, man, this issue, this stance, it's not that serious. And to those people, you know what I would say? You know what I would say to those people? You're probably right. You're probably right, son. But I'll tell you this about me. I don't have that throttle, that governor inside me that allows me to pick and choose when I do the right thing based off of what I think the repercussions are. No. I ain't got that gear. I wake up every day. I do what I think is the right thing, and I'm willing to live with the results. And in this case, I thought it was right that the higher-ups, those entrusted to look out for the welfare of these young athletes, I thought it was best that I let them know, hey, man, y'all dropped the ball. Y'all could have did a little bit better in this scenario. And people who know me know that, yo, I ain't got no OGs, no big bros, the only person I ever had was me. Right? The person that got me to this point to where I'm even able to be a part of Brooklyn College is me. When I joined the Army, they told me I was crazy for joining the Army. Then when I got there, people told me I was crazy for getting out. Yo, Will, you should stick around and retire after 20 years. When I came home and I said, yo, I'm going to play this college basketball, and my friends were like, you about to play college basketball for free? And I said, no, don't worry, son, there's value here. When I had the job at CBS Sports and they wanted me to travel around the globe to do watch football games and this, that, and I said, you know what, no, that's not what I want to do. My man Fent's still mad at me for turning down that job, right? The one person that's got me in this position to even be able to accept the job with Brooklyn College is me. So I can't abandon my moral compass now. It's the decisions I made up to this point that has allowed me to be here. Me and the man in the mirror. So I don't blame people who don't understand that level of freedom. Yeah, I'm going to walk in the room and say something unpopular. Right? For the last 11 years, I've gotten up every day and done exactly what I wanted to do. Not everybody understands that freedom, and I don't blame them. Okay, cool. Well, you shouldn't. All right, yeah. Right? Those last 11 years haven't always been easy. Trust me, there's been some dark days. But I ain't scared, right? I don't understand everybody to understand that level of fearlessness. People like safety and security. Nah, if something ain't right, I'm going to stand up and say it. I'll live with the repercussions. So just understand that for those who say, yo, Will, this stance ain't that serious, man, I ain't got that gear. If what's right is right. And I'm going to stand up and say it. And we live with the repercussions, man. It's got me to this point. So, Will, why this video? First and foremost, so my players know the deal. So my players know the real. The young men I've been working with since October 15. I want them to know the truth. Because when you stand up in front, October 15th was the first day we were able to practice. My first time standing up in front of these men, I saw a bunch of bright eyes. Their ears were open. I said, damn, this is one hell of a responsibility to sit here and stand in front of these young men and them listen to what you have to say. That's not something I took for granted. That's not something I played with. You know, there would be times I would be talking to these guys, and I think we just having a casual conversation, just shooting the shit. And they'll come back to you next week and be like, yo, coach, remember that advice you gave me? Like, advice? I was just telling a story. Yeah, it really worked out for me. So, damn, this is a hell of a responsibility. I have to do right by that. So I don't want them to ever question, like, dang, I thought Holley was a stand-up guy, honorable guy. I don't want them because I don't want the narrative to be something different. Because even some of them was texting me like, yo, coach, you okay, man? Everything all right? I don't want them to be like, yo, coach, I thought you was getting deported with 21 Savage. Yo, coach, I heard you was moving packages for El Chapo. Nah, son, I'm still the honorable man that stood up in front of you and said, gentlemen, we got to do the right thing. We got to stand tall and live right. I'm still that dude. So first and foremost, it's for them. And for all of the young men that reached out to me, I appreciate it. It meant the world because I don't care what anybody else thinks. If you know the truth, I'm good. I wasn't even on that coaching stuff like that. I did it cool. They paid me $2,000 since October 15th. It ain't about the money, trust me. So I need my players to know the truth. You know, secondly, I got a lot of love in that building, son. Not only my team, the girls' team show love, the kids in the rec gym, the students that work there. I need y'all to know, yo, Holley is who y'all believed him to be. There's an assistant coach on the girls' staff. I competed against him when I played. Nothing but love. There's another assistant on the girls' staff. She would bring me chocolate-covered pretzels. Well, actually, she didn't bring it for me, but I stuck my hand in the bag anyway, right? So, but, I mean, just love in that building. And I want them to know, like, the truth. You know? And lastly, son, I just want my name. Y'all could take the clipboard from me. You could take my money. But I just want my name to stand honorably. I've been around this conference for a long time. Y'all not going to tarnish my name, son. I've been around this conference for a long time. 2008 to be exact, son. For those, let me tell you my story. 2008, I get out of the Army. I walk into Kingsborough Community College and say, hey, I want to play basketball. I ain't never played a lick of high school basketball. I ain't ran a 3-man weave, a 2-on-1, a motion office, nothing, a day in my life. But I show up at Kingsborough, hey, I want to play. And before you know it, we city champions. Me and my dog, city champions. I don't even know what I'm doing yet. Yo, we enjoyed that city championship so much, we went and did it again the very next year. I'm named tournament MVP. After Kingsborough, I move on to York College. My junior year, third game of the season, my point guard gets a concussion. Damn, what we going to do now? Don't worry, coach. I'm going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I lost my appendix that year. I missed about 7 games. My team lost every game. I came back against my doctor's orders, helped drag that team to the playoffs. Facts. My senior year, I go on to help lead a 7th seeded York College into the West Quad against the number 2 seeded Brooklyn College Bulldogs and defeat them, going to be all tournament. That's who I am in the CUNY Conference. And y'all want to get me escorted out of gyms? And forget that basketball shit. I finished everything I ever started. I graduated from Kingsborough. I graduated from York College. I went on to Brooklyn College, graduated from there. And if you think that's the end of my resume with the CUNY Conference, just last year, well, 2017, before I began coaching, Brooklyn College decides that they want to do a live stream of their basketball games for both their men, women's basketball, right? So our fans around the globe can see. Our fans down in Pennsylvania, our fans in Utah, our fans in Staten Island, Long Island. They want to do a live stream, right? Guess who the first voice was that was heard on that live stream? Guess who it was? It was me. Yo, in fact, it wasn't me. It was actually my man, Adam Zaki, because he was the play-by-play guy, but I was the color commentary. But you get it. I was on the first broadcast team. I remember the athletic director coming up there, shaking my hand. Yo, man, you guys are doing a good job. I heard the feedback. Da, da, da. He probably didn't even know that was me. And this is who you want to get escorted out of gymnasiums? This is who you got calling around trying to see if it's safe for him to walk in the gym? That's dishonorable, son. I just want my name. Y'all can have anything else, man. My man Hope said it best. He said it's still rock la familia. It says a lot about you if you're not feeling us. If you got a problem with me and what I've done, that speaks volumes about you, man. To this day, Grandma, afraid what I might say. They gonna have to kill me, Grandmama. I'm not their slave. Like, I stand tall, walk honorably, always. And that's it. And I did this in a Brooklyn College t-shirt because I'm still repping. Yo, just shout out to everybody. The girls team is getting set to take on somebody Tuesday night. Wishing them well. To my guys getting ready to take battle Wednesday night. Y'all already know what it is, man. This is William Holley. That's WBH Radio. I'm out.